everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Student Spotlight, where we showcase some of the work our past students have done. I'm Ingrid, and with me here is Angela, who participated in the Rethink essay competition this year. Her essay on the question of why religion remains a force in the secular world, her essay in response to this prompt, received a gold award, and it is our pleasure to have her on this episode and share her experience with us. So to start things off, Angela, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what year of high school you're in, and what your academic interests are?
Okay, so I'm a rising senior from Basis Guangzhou, China, and I chose the topic of religion and politics, and so my interest will probably be in religion study.
Mm-hmm. And can you share with us how you discovered this essay competition and CCIR as an organization?
Okay, so I was looking for an essay competition with religion-related topics, and Rethink did give me a chance to write about something I'm interested in and hoping to explore more through research. And I might not continue to think a deeper enough question in a short time. So probably doing a essay competition can really enforce me to do a lot of critical thinking skill and trying to think something deeply in a short time. And I really like to how Rethink structured the prompt, because it did covers diverse field of subjects, and from historical and present issues to see future, or how we can offer some kind of solution, or more insights to future. Yeah, so I chose Rethink for this year. Yeah.
Let's dial it back a little bit. What made you even interested in this topic in the first place, religion and politics?
Because I took global politics this year in my school, and myself as a person was really interested in religious related things. So probably to discover how religion still remain as a force, or they still exist in such a secular world, is what I'm looking for for a long time. And I try to think why it's still so important in this modern world. And I didn't think of how it could relate to politics in such a interesting way. So when I see this prompt, it kind of gave me a it kind of tells me how religion can is still very important in our life, and how it might continue to exist or influence our life. Yeah.
So for our listeners who are new to the Rethink essay competition, it's an annual competition, and the mission has always been to promote critical thinking and exploration of a wide range of thought-provoking and often controversial subject matters. So the prompt that Angela chose is 1 of 10, and these are contributed by our distinguished professors from our unique faculty network, from mentors from Harvard, Brown, UC Berkeley, Cambridge, Oxford, and MIT. And a list of recommended reading is also provided with each prompt to encourage diving into the subject matter from a more varied perspective. So can you tell us a little bit about how you approach starting your essay from, understanding the prompt, dissecting it, writing it, doing your research, going through the reading list, everything? It just sounds like such a daunting process. And yeah, just walk us through the entire process.
Okay, so first of all, I have to choose the topic that I'm interested in, and I was also I don't know how to write a complete or formal essay before, but I did go through the guideline that provided by Rethink, and then I read the essay, the example essay, and try to see how a formal essay should be and then I will do some kind of research or read a lot of things that online or in book or anything, just to get more knowledge on the related stuff. Then I will to think something about myself or like happened in real life that around us, and then to note, and I will like how I notice such a problem or issues that happens around us, and how it could also be solved or mentioned in others people's research. And then I read the related academic articles or even like fun facts about the topic, and then I will start to brainstorm what my topic should be like, and then to after brainstorming probably to like do some research on specific questions or like specific findings, or to solve like to answer some kind of like questions that I have throughout the research process. And then oh do think of interesting way to like make my argument. To I think the most important thing is to think of like interesting insights to solve the problem, or like to relate my own arguments with the question. And then I think just do a outline and then to search for evidence. I think that's mostly about like how to write an essay or anything related thing. That's all the writing process that you have to go through. Yeah.
What would you say, because that sounded like such a process, what would you say was like the most challenging or like the kind of the newest part of the process for you? Like something you hadn't, tried before?
Probably to think about something that related to us, or like some modern issues that also might reflect historical things, or like how modern issues can continue to happen, or like the continuous and the effect. Because most of the essays that or like questions that I have done before didn't like need me to do such a process, but like I think it's to start with myself, and then to just to think something critically, or like how it might also happen to us, but something that we might not notice before. Yeah, like what I mentioned about because I was writing about religion. So what I mentioned about is like how Christianity become something that is unconsciously practiced. So or like how we might continue to unconsciously practice religious related things, or like how religion might affect our mind, that might contribute religion as a continuous force in the secular world, but also as they face marginalization of mystery, they will still exist. Or like those things, I didn't consider it before, but like through writing it, I would like to say, it's really important to think about something that you're unconscious about, or like people are not aware about. Yeah.
And I think that kind of goes back to what you said about even just choosing a prompt that you're interested in. I feel like a lot of our interests are rooted in what we kind of experience in our daily lives, but like may not be like super conscious to, because you kind of just assume that that's the way things are. But then I think being able to kind of do this exercise and like kind of get to the root of why that is quite like like it opens your mind to kind of an understanding. How did you find the reading list that is provided with your prompt?
The reading list. I would say to watch a video or anything that it's provided online, to like, or a overview about your prompt or like your interest. For example, like you can search on YouTube like a brief introduction to like what your topic is, or like to watch like something fun about, or like a movie or anything. Like then when you watch the video or movies, you will like discover a lot of things that you might not notice before. And then you can search online and to see like some famous writing, or like some famous book that I mentioned, or like talk about those things. So you can I think for most of time people can like create their own list of questions, and then they will go search it like with like more like academic article or stuff like that.
Yeah, I feel like the more you like read, the more you're able to find like more questions to like ask. So even though this whole process seems very daunting, I think just taking one step at a time seems to be the key. How long did you, from start to finish, how long do you think you worked on this submission?
I think the most part as I struggled is to write the outline and brainstorm parts
Mm-hmm.
because it
Mm-hmm.
really like set the foundation to the whole article or like the whole essay. But for those parts, I do think of a lot of I do go through many times of brainstorming where like I did change my topics a lot of time, but I think to choose the most straightforward but also interesting way to answer the question is the most hard things that when I write the essay, but also like for I think I spent like 2 weeks on it, and then I changed
Mm-hmm.
a lot of like it changed my thoughts when I finished my outline, and then have to start over it. And, but for the writing part, I think it's much more easier if you have a um well structured outline. I think just to fill evidence and to do analysis or like to support your prompt or like support your argument. That's the
Mm-hmm.
easier parts that a lot of people might not agree with me, but it is
Mm-hmm.
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you have a like an argument already, like when you chose this prompt? Like you already know what your stance was, or did you kind of go in with a more open mind and wanted to develop your argument through reading and researching?
I did have some thoughts about it, but I did
Mm-hmm.
change a lot after I read academic articles or after I have structured my first outline.
Mm-hmm.
I do gain more insights or like have more interesting way to solve the problem. I do like change a lot of things as my first time when I see the prompt.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like it was not just a learning process on how to write like a formal academic essay, but also like learning about the subject matter and kind of confronting your own biases going into this like subject that you're actually really interested in. So it sounds like a really, really great learning experience. And I want to extend my congratulations again on receiving the Gold Award for your submission. To give our listeners an idea of the rigor of this competition, submissions undertake 4 rounds of blind review by scholars from Cambridge, Oxford, Stanford, MIT, and several Ivy League universities. So to receive this distinction is really impressive. We saw over 4,200 submissions from over 50 countries. So this competition is worldwide, and we only awarded 33 winners with different tiers of awards, and the gold is the highest. So that again, such an achievement. What were your reactions when you received this result?
I was surprised because I did finish
Mm-hmm.
in a rush way because I do have like other exam. I had the AP exam right before deadline. So I didn't think a lot about like I almost forgot like what I have read about like when I see the result. I was so surprised. I did, I almost like I run through another exam right after I finish it. So I don't know, like unexpected.
I feel like because it probably you saw the result after, so many other things are going on in your life, you kind of forgot about this competition and to get like, such a distinction on this submission must have been kind of a like surprise. But yeah, who were the first people you shared your accomplishment
Because I was drinking tea with my friends.
with? Uh-huh.
were sitting right in front of me, and actually I didn't saw the email at the first time, and then my other friends, they saw the result because they attend the CCIR's program, so they saw the email
Mhm.
first, and then they told me that.
Wow. Oh my gosh. That's even better. I feel like then, you have people to celebrate when you actually get the result. Did any of your other friends do this rethink competition, or were you the only one as you were participating?
I was the only one because we all have the same at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it seems like your group of friends is also familiar with CCIR. How do you think this experience has changed you as a student going into um, your senior year in high school, was it? And then also preparing for university.
I think it's a really good experience to have because we have to learn to write a formal essay before after like we enter university, and to have that kind of like research skill or critical analysis skill is really important for me, like for my future study, or especially to on the topic that I'm interested in, or like I will probably like to study on. So probably like I think rethink did provide me like a lot of opportunities to think deeper on what I'm interested about, and what I might need to practice about. So I think it's really a good experience to have.
And like, I think, yeah, having this experience as a high school student is just so great because going into university where you are kind of thrown into like a new environment and you might not be able to, because I was in university a while ago, but you just like don't know how to even approach like writing college level essays. So having this experience and knowing how to break down the process will make your experience going forward as a student in your higher education so much more smooth, and you know like where to ask for resource, what kind of resources you need. So yeah, no, that sounds like a really good experience to have as a high schooler. And for my last question for you, if you could summarize the Rethink essay competition in one word or one sentence, how would you describe it?
I would say rethink did open a door for me because it just offered so much good experience on writing or on thinking skill, or like anything that a students or a scholar needs about. And it is a good experience to think about something that it's like that is what I'm interested in, and something that could also combine with other fields. Like it just a such good experience, I would say.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good summary of everything we talked about. But yeah, that would conclude our episode for today. Thank you so much, Angela, for joining us and sharing your experiences with our listener. And congratulations on your success on the Rethink Essay competition, and best of luck with all your future endeavors.
Thank you.